Alan Nuckman. Alan, let's start with the macro picture. It's a tough stock picking environment, but looking forward, the S&P is trading at a discount, still 5% off its one-year highs. How are you viewing the buying of the S&P in its entirety as a way to sort of get in, as we do see somewhat of a stabilization for the moment after the March bank crisis?
Right, and that's what I want to say. You said subdued, I say steady and stable. So I'm not trying to be a smart guy. I'm just not trying to fight the momentum. And we've seen the markets, have nearly a 10% rally, and we're up at the top of the 6-month range between 3,800 and 4,200 in the S&P. If we can break out of this, that target's 4,600, which is another 10% higher. And you talked about rates. That's a done deal. But what you also have to pay attention to is that if you look out to the December numbers, there's a 90% chance that rates will be cut by then. So that's very much a positive if you're future forward looking.
Okay, but let me push back once again. If you are deciding that, yes, there may be a stabilization, then we might rip higher, as one of our guests said yesterday, right here on the show, once that we do start to see a cut or maybe even a pause. You wouldn't buy just like an SPY or an IVV, the ETFs that encompass all of the S&P 500 names. And that way you're kind of shooting a shotgun versus a single bullet here.
Well, you could, and ETFs are a valuable tool, and that way you don't have individual stock risk. Now, I think you can find individual stocks, and that's what I attempt to do every single day, individual stocks that have better risk reward than the market itself. They're going to offer a better payoff with limited risk. So there are a lot of energy stocks, and there are a lot of banking stocks which have low PEs that I think will participate in the overall market. It just depends on your flavor. But the point is that there's a lot of, I think, optimism as viewed by the VIX. The VIX is at 16. That's half of what it was a month ago. So the markets are telling us that that there's more positivity possibly for the S&P here in the near term.
Yeah, well, we do kind of remember what was happening just about a month ago, and that was the bank panic. So Keith Fitzgerald, we get First Republic on Monday. What kind of window will open and what will we see there? It's going to be a very important earnings report as we continue to watch that stock really kind of flutter around. This was a stock that was $171 at its annual high. It's down 88% year to date. It's now at $14 and change. What do you think? Keith? Okay, we don't have Keith's audio. Can we see if we can get that? 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Okay, Alan, instead, let me go to you. Well, you take that question, Alan.
Sure. Well, bank billions, okay? It's a simple business model if you do it properly. It is the most simple way to make money, is that you give depositors, your own customers for banks, very low interest, and then you put it in repos overnight and get 4% interest. So if you can't make money being a bank, obviously there are people that screwed that up. It's like printing money. Look at the billions. JP Morgan made $12 billion, $8 billion Bank of America, and so forth and so forth. So it's a pretty simple model unless you go outside and try and be cute about it. So I think the banks are still going to do very well. And the PE ratio for the banking sector itself, XLF, is about 12.
Okay.
So I still think there's a lot more upside there.
Okay, but Alan, if you're talking about, a 4% coupon or whatever, you're looking at the repo, look at the 2-year yield, 4.18%. I was just checking the 3-month T-bill, 5%, 4-month T-bill, 5.2%. I mean, why not then just say, forget it, I'm going to park my money at least for a couple of months?
Right, and that's the best thing for the individual to do. But unfortunately, people don't do that. They're just leaving the money in their accounts, and instead of them making the free money, the bank is making the free money. So it takes some consumer impetus here to move your money to actually get those returns, but it's risk-free return. Well, you kind of sort this out. Now, I think there's bigger returns out there than the 4%, but you still have to be happy with that because, for as long as I can remember, you've never been able to make money with your money just sitting there. So we're in a unique environment where the average customer could just move their money and make 4% like this.
And by the way, everybody, it does not take that much energy to do it. TreasuryDirect.gov. Okay, Teddy Weisberg, the famed Teddy Weisberg taught us all how to do this. Okay, Keith, we're going old school. We're getting on the horn. Okay, Keith Fitzgerald. Yeah, it's really high tech here. We're going on the phone here with Keith. Keith, let me just quickly get your thought on First Republic. I hate to really continue to pound this one, but I think that it may set quite a tone, at least for perhaps Monday and Tuesday, when it reports numbers. What are you expecting here?
Well, again, I'm not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. I think that it is going to set the tone, but many people are already looking beyond that. To my guest counterpoint, there are better stocks out there. That's the question you really want to think about. So psychology, fine. Liquidity is entirely a different matter right now.
Okay. And also, Keith, I know because every time I talk to you, we're talking about Tesla. You okay with him sixth price drop 48 hours ago, and now he's tightening prices when he saw that his stock price had plummeted yesterday on news that he would rather have thinner margins. And by the way, let's just be honest here. Tesla's margins are way bigger than some of the legacy automakers' margins. So he ain't doing that bad. But he wants to go more for the demand and the production here. What do you think? Are you still as positive as you have been about Tesla?
Well, sure. On a longer-term basis, absolutely. And as a trader, I'm licking my chops. It's hard not to because you've got a CEO who's put everybody else on notice from a position of strength, not weakness. So to me, if I'm looking at this and traders have misjudged the price on that stock, that's an engraved invitation. Remember how fast it doubled. We've been here before. We've seen this with batteries. We've seen it with chargers. We've seen it with his financing. Every time the street says, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, guess who proves him wrong? So I'm not going to bet against the man, but I'm sure going to watch it carefully.
Okay. All right. It's great to have you both. Alan Nuckman, Keith Fitzgerald, the economy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Economy can't be all that bad, right? If U.S. business activity just hit an 11-month high. And United Airlines is saying that business travel has now recovered the drop it had experienced during the Silicon Valley Bank collapse and the regional bank scare that followed last month. But hotel room prices for all those business travelers are still sky high. Up next, we talk to the New York City real estate pro who's now seeing a spike in interest for short-term corporate housing rentals, furnished, Wi-Fi, the whole shoot and match for like half the price of a hotel room. Plus, we're going to get a read on the upcoming summer season for one of the most popular summer playgrounds of the rich and famous. Closing bell 49 minutes away. The Clayman Countdown on this Friday is coming right back. Dow is down about 13 points. The